What's up, YouTube? This is Red Zone 101. Wanted to do a video on a topic I really haven't heard too many people speak about. First of all, I'm sitting here outside with my Ariel Rider X-class 52-volt e-bike. Gotta tell you, this is a sweet bike. If you guys are looking for the best bang for your buck when you're looking at an e-bike slash almost scooter, this is it. Now, a lot of videos I see, people talk about how to lock your bike up to prevent somebody from stealing it and what have you. I think those are great videos. I've learned a lot from them. But I haven't seen any videos talking about how to defend yourself. Don't get me wrong, none of us want to lose our bike. But how do you defend yourself? Right now, e-bike thefts are going up. Um, these bikes are not cheap. And the bad guys out there, they're starting to realize that. And it's one thing when somebody, when you're not around, let's say you got your bike locked up, walks up, cuts the chain you got, and steals your bike. But what about when you're on the bike and somebody walks up and says, I'm taking your bike, whether they're armed or unarmed, what have you? What do you do? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If somebody gets the drop on you, meaning they've got a firearm out, they've got a knife to you, what have you, they got a club, whatever, and they say to give up the bike, the best thing to do probably is to give up the bike. Nothing's worth your life. That said, what if you see this person coming up to you, you got like three or four guys, and you just get that feeling, these guys are about to try to steal my bike. Now, the bad thing is that, well, back in the day, when I was younger, you get robbed, you might get beat up, they take what you got, they keep on going. Unfortunately, today, people not only will take what you got and beat you up, but they don't want witnesses. So sometimes, you still might get got, even though you've complied and did everything they asked you to do. And don't get me wrong, I think it's very important if somebody gets the drop on you, in a robbery, self-defense, carjacking, what have you, self-defense with situation, the best thing to do is comply to the best of your ability, especially if they've got the drop on you. That said, I look at my bike like if somebody was coming up to rob me, like a carjacking. Now, if any of you have ever watched my videos, I'm big into self-defense, okay? Whether it's lethal, non-lethal, like what have you. So I wanted to show you a couple of options you might want to consider. And don't get me wrong, nobody wants to hurt anybody, but at the same time, in this day and age, you do have to look after yourself. You do have to protect yourself. And one of the best ways to do it is being aware of your surroundings. That said, let's say you're on your e-bike, you have to stop, and you see a potential threat coming up, okay? Now me, I carry firearms. So I dress for how I carry. Like right now, I'm carrying. And I'm going to show you. Now, right now, you can't see anything, but, I've just got on a coat. Well, let's say that I saw a potential threat coming up. Some guys are saying, yo, give me the bike. Oh, dude. Now, this is a really big firearm. Okay, this is a full-size gun here. All right? But I can easily carry this. This is a Beretta 92X. Now, I'm going to show you. The mag is loaded. I'm outside, so I'm carrying. But there's not one in the chamber. So this gun is completely safe to carry like this. Now, the way that I carry this particular firearm here, I've shown it in other videos. I'll take off my coat. I got a shoulder holster, which makes getting this particular firearm really easy to get out, but also really easy to carry. Also, I've got spare mags here. Probably wouldn't need them, but who knows, just in case. But this is a really easy way to carry a full-size firearm. Let's say if you're on your bike. And also, if you wear the right clothing, very easy to conceal. Okay? Now, let's say that you didn't want to carry something this big, okay? I get it. Me, I don't have a problem with it. I've been carrying everything from full-size gun, mid-size to pocket guns to what have you. Let's say you don't want something that big. Let's say it's summertime. You're not wearing a big coat. Then you might want to consider something like this. Smaller gun. This right here is a Remington Rm380. Okay? Now, I know Remington has had some problems, but this gun has been 100% reliable since I've had it, and I've had this gun for years. Again, taking the mag out, the mag is loaded, but the firearm is not. Now, this gun is really small, really easy to carry, fits in your pocket, no problem. If somebody was coming up a threat, they're telling you they're about to take your bike, sometimes just showing the fact that you're able to protect yourself and defend yourself from an attack is enough to make a would-be attacker back off. So this here is in 380, which is not a really big caliber, but it's definitely good enough for self-defense. And a lot of people carry these little guns here. But again, if you're wearing light clothing, this is really easy to conceal. And granted, you don't have to go with this particular model, but I'm just showing you as an example. Really small, really easy to carry. Now, let's say that's not small enough for you, okay? You want something a little smaller. You might want to consider this. I've shown this in my videos too. Let's go in the other pocket. That's even smaller. This is a Beretta 21A and 22 caliber. Now, I know what some people are going to say. 22 for self-defense. Let me tell you, nobody, especially bad guys, want extra holes in them. Not even from a 22. This here could be just enough to deter a bad guy. Again, I'm going to show you. Taking the mag out. The mag is loaded, but this has a tip-up barrel. Interesting design. There isn't one in the chamber. So very safe and very small. Now let me show you the size difference, okay? I'm going to take out my Beretta. That's my Beretta, full size. A lot of people wouldn't carry this. They consider it too big. This is more like a service pistol, like what have you, something to put on your nightstand. I have no problem with carrying this. Now that, compared to this right here, this is very small, okay? But that's a pocket gun. Now even smaller, the Beretta 21A and 22. And with this gun here, now 22s can be finicky. But with good ammo, keeping your gun clean, your 22, keeping it clean, well oiled, and using quality ammo like CCI mini mags, this gun here is very reliable. And let me tell you, noisy cricket, this thing is loud. That right there could be enough to scare the heck out of somebody, especially a would-be attacker. Hopefully we'll never have to find that out. Let me put that up. And let me put this up here. Now let's say some of you aren't comfortable with firearms. There we go. I get that. You might want to consider something a little less lethal, okay? No problem with that either. I get it. Not everybody is like me. I've been target shooting, practicing self-defense shooting for over 30-some years. So, you know, I feel comfortable with it. That said, there are those people that aren't. So you might want to consider something like carrying mace on you or something like that. Or my choice for a non-lethal self-defense option would be this right here. Now, mind you, this is not a firearm, first of all. This right here is my Beretta HD launcher. Now, this right here, again, is not a firearm. It looks like one, but it's It is considered a CO2 launcher. Look at that profile. Now I've actually added some things to mine, like the red dot, and I changed the color. And I've added this adapter here that gives me a little more power. But essentially what this is a CO2 powered self-defense device. Take the mag out. See that right there, that red and green ball there? That's actually a pepper round. What happens is when this gun is fired, okay, this pepper round shoots out, hits the bad guy, let's say, the attacker, and it bursts upon impact, and pepper powder engulfs the attacker. In other words, it bursts, and pepper gets into the attacker's lungs, eyes, face, and this stuff burns. I'm telling you, it's like getting hit with mace, and non-lethal, but at the same time, if used properly, can be very effective. And if nothing else, that profile, somebody's coming to take your e-bike, and you said, "Stop." Let me tell you, I think you're going to get their attention. Okay, now that's big. Okay, it's almost as big as my Beretta here. Okay, and this is a firearm. This is not. But there are ways to carry this comfortably. Now, I jimmy rigged a holster I can put on the side of my belt, and that actually works really well. And if you wear the right clothing, very easily to conceal. That said, if you don't want to put it there, you might want to get you a small bag like this right here. You can put around your waist, and it goes very easily in here. So if you did have to take it out and use it, reach in, grab it out, okay? And that's with me not practicing, but with practice, you probably get it out quicker. But again, if you're looking for something non-lethal, the Beretta HD launcher might be something to check into. Now, there are other options out there that are similar to this, but this is my choice. The reason it's my choice is because with a lot of your CO2 launchers, you have to turn a screw or something to pierce the CO2 to get it to work. This right here, you load the mag, put it in, and you do have a safety here. You have a safety, you have a fire. The difference between this one right here is when you pull the trigger, the CO2 goes in here. When you pull the trigger actually pierces, well, there's a device in here, whatever, pierces the CO2, so your first shot is actually coming out without having to twist the knob to pierce like the CO2. So that's one less step that you have to deal with, and I really like that. So I can carry this with the CO2 all day, unlike some of the others where once you pierce the CO2, you might be able to carry it for a day or two, but after that, they recommend that you change the CO2. I can leave the CO2 in here indefinitely. And no, I don't work for Beretta. I just like this product. So anyway, I just brought up this subject because these e-bikes are becoming more and more popular. And people are taking notice. And some people are the wrong people. I'm talking about people that are looking to maybe take what you got. And in this day and age, you got to be able to defend yourself. Now, some of you may live in communities where you think you'd never have to worry about something like this happening. But let me tell you, stuff happens. I live in Detroit, Michigan, and I live in what's called the red zone. What is lovingly called the red zone. The red zone meaning that there is a high violent crime rate in this area. So I practice so that if the occasion happens, a self-defense situation, that I'm able to protect me, I'm able to protect my loved one. I'm all about self-defense, okay? Not talking about somebody, dog pooped on my yard and now I'm angry and I'm ready to go after them. No, I'm talking about somebody trying to break into your house, someone trying to carjack you, someone trying to jack your e-bike. I want to be able to defend myself. So, let me know what you think. I try also not to go to certain areas where I know there's a lot of gang activity, a lot of drug activity, even though my area has been big for that. My street is pretty cool for the most part. But I don't go to areas where I know that this is a really dangerous area. So I try to avoid those areas. And I try to be aware of my surroundings, which is really important. So again, people, hopefully this video was helpful. Um, Hopefully we'll never have to encounter something like this where you have to use something lethal or non-lethal to defend yourself. Always to defend yourself. Okay, I'm not talking about, but anyway. Someone looked at you wrong and now you're ready to go get them. Not talking about that. I'm talking about self-defense. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. It is cold out here. So I'm getting ready to go back inside, get some hot tea, maybe some cookies, sit back and chill and enjoy this Saturday. Anyway, on that note, thank you guys for watching. As always, God bless and peace. Stay safe.